I want to tell you, say, I want to tell you, say, I want to tell you, say, yo, yeah, you massive. Well, inside that thing called Rubber Dub, you know, as far as remix goes, this song right here, one of the best remix ever made of all time. Everyone say, guess who's coming to dinner? Only think I come to dinner, now must not teach it. No ask, guess who's coming to. Watch this. All right. Well, I make it back in about 30 more seconds. Man, say, nobody taking my space. What do you feel like? Just put food on the plate. Lightning and tender earthquake. All right, see part of me like, you know. See part of me like, I'm hungry. That's right. That's right. I will not want nobody come and tell me about me temper. No retreat, no surrender. You sit on your veranda. I think it's cool for ghetto youth to suffer. It's never cool for ghetto youth to suffer. It's never cool for any youth to suffer. And that's what we stand for. You know what I mean? Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Evening People Show. I am your host, Martin Matthews. If this is your first time joining the show, welcome to the show. On this show, we're a lifestyle show, I would say. We meet old friends. We meet new friends. We talk some poetry. We talk life. We talk liberty. We talk education. We talk upliftment. And it's pure positivity we deal with around here. You know what I mean? So tonight, for the first time, actually, I should have some YouTubers joining. You know what I mean? We are trying to enter into the YouTube arena as well. Like I said, if this is your first time, welcome. Typically on the show, we read some poetry at some point. Yeah, the poetry we typically read is from my book called Love, Life, Confrontation, Expressions, Selections from the Chronicles of a Black Man. It's a book of poetry. Some really nice stuff, at least I think so, and I would, because it's my book, ain't it, mate? All right, my guest tonight is a very special kind of guest. Before we go any further, I want to tell you that we're going to mix it up a little bit tonight. We're going to do it a little bit different tonight from the way we usually do it because of my special guest that I have. Maharri, I'm going to have her pronounce that properly for you in a little bit. But my guest is a wellness coach. She's a yoga instructor. She's a business owner. She's a mother. And she is one ital individual. You know what I mean? And I'm not even going to dilly-dally no more. Without any further ado, I'm going to invite her on. Say, hello, Maharri. How are you?
Blessings. Blessed love king. I'm well. Give thanks. Maharri. I'm a Rasta brothers and sisters called I Maharri. So, you know, depends on what
I like Maharri.
Maharri, you know.
Maharri is the one I like. That's the one I'm going to use. Maharri is mine. Maharri, I want to tell you, say, I AC feel like it broke since we come home and I hot right now. I need some AC in real life.
Just get a book of fun, man. Get a book of
fun. Then I'm tired because I got exercise and I'm tired. But anyway, I'm going to jump straight into it. Now, Maharri is a name. That's the name I put on the flyer. That's the name I put out there on everything. Marsha is the name I know. But at some point, the Marsha on the birth certificate became Maharri. Now, when did that happen? Why did that happen? When did that transformation take place?
I'm still Marsha, so based on the government, I am still Marsha in that aspect, in every aspect really, because that's the name my mother gave me and she loves
Right.
that name. So always honor, to that. But Maharri was birthed when I was like about 16 or so. I wrote poetry just as my little way, my little outlet. And that was my pen name that I came up with because I didn't want to put my real name on it because it's so, the stuff that I was writing, I felt like was so intimate and personal. I wasn't really owning it. And I really didn't want, like, if anyone should ever happen to, get into my little diary, or whatever. So I came up with Maharri, and it was Maharri, and the first two letters M and A are my initials, and the last four letters Hari is the first four letters of my first name. And they also call my dad and my grandfather Hari, so I just felt like, it works, and it became Maharri, and once I started diving into yoga, I also realized that Ma is also Sanskrit for the god Kali, meaning Mother Kali, and Hari is Vishnu, goddess Kali and God Vishnu, which is like a reincarnation of Shiva, and so it just like worked perfectly with the yoga vibration, and so I just
This sounds like I'm gonna need to go get my. Actually, I have my pen and I have paper. I'm gonna jot down stuff because it looks like I'm gonna have homework this trip.
yeah, I can't remember what it means in Swahili, but I know it has a very powerful meaning in Swahili. I wish I remembered, but yeah.
Don't worry, I'm
So
taking notes.
the name is powerful still. Yeah.
All right, I can appreciate that. Love that. Now you're a well. No, wait a minute. I'm not sure I got the answer I wanted just then. You said it came about around 16, right?
Yeah.
When the change took place. But okay, so it's when you decided to actually become an author, when you actually decided to start writing that became a pen name so you could.
Yeah, it was just a pen name, and I never really shared it. I would even introduce myself as Maharri. It was just what I would write on my poetry. When I decided to release my poetry book, actually, when I used to live in South Florida and I was there, I would introduce myself as Maharri because I always like to move incognito. So there are people, in South Florida who never knew me growing up, like they know me as Maharri also. So it was kind of like a way to just, for it's like an alter ego kind of way to move like incognito.
Remain anonymous. I can appreciate that. I can definitely appreciate that. Now,
Yeah.
you're a wellness coach
Yeah.
who practices a wellness lifestyle. Tell us about the wellness lifestyle and what that includes.
I like to think of myself as a wellness lifestyle strategist, right? So I come up with a strategy based on the client's needs, and then I help the client by, like coaching them and helping them, with that strategy that I formulated for them. And so, it's a way to like really help to raise people's vibration and about living more holistically, has to do with food and nutrition. It has to do with just stress management, everyday livity, taking care of the environment. So it's not just nutrition. It really encompasses a wholeness, like a whole livity, and yeah. And so
Now
take
let's talk
great
about
joy.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I take great joy in like sharing this work and helping others because it's just something I feel like it's necessary right now for the human consciousness. So
now the diet aspect of it, I'm actually curious about that because and a lot of people are always out there trying. Some people are trying mix this and that and take this and the next thing. Like, what do you eat? What does I come to your house? I look in your pantry. I look in your what's there? What do I see?
I have a lot of herbs. I'll have a lot of fruits and veggies. I don't really have a big pantry. I was thinking the other day, in case of the apocalypse, I might need to start stocking up on some canned things. But most of the things I really eat are like fruits and veggies fresh. So, I just go to the market and I get my supply for the week. Sometimes I end up going twice a week, depending on the week that I'm having. But I try to keep my food live. Like tonight, I had like raw zucchini noodles with kelp, and I made like this amazing cashew Alfredo sauce, plant based, of course. So
Mhm.
I'm plant based, and had some avocados with that, and some spinach and tomatoes, and yeah, it was
Wow.
amazing. Yeah.
And
So
that's pretty much what your diet looks like on a
yeah.
daily.
I call it my live it. Rastafari has opened eyes to a lot of things, and diet spells die. At the beginning of that word is
It
the word
does.
die,
It
right?
does.
Like, and literally, the standard Western American whatever diet is killing you, right?
True.
So,
True.
a person that has stepped into a space of consciousness and using alchemic energy in the way that I prepare my food and take care of myself. It's like I'm thinking about raising my vibration, revitalizing my cells, restoring, rejuvenating, and just really healing. So eating for nourishment and eating also for elevation, right? So it's just like an energy and a collective thing. And once you're in that space, you realize that the food tastes so good, and
Right.
the standard American diet is really so disgusting. So yeah, not to bash anyone for their choices,
Right.
but just saying, coming into that space of awareness has really
Mhm.
helped me there.
No, I can appreciate that. And really, even when, the those of us that, are not as strict, even when we take a time and, we eat cleaner, your body tells you you're eating cleaner. You can
Mm-hmm.
feel it. You can feel it. Your body tells you that you're eating cleaner. You know you're eating cleaner. You feel more energized. You When you sleep and wake up, you feel more energized.
Mm-hmm.
That whole, extra thing your
You
body
feel
does
lighter. And
process. You
when you
feel
go to
lighter.
the bathroom, you feel good when
Yeah.
you leave the bathroom. Like you got rid of what you needed to get rid of.
Right. No, and it's true because I have
Yeah.
my time. No, mind you, now I don't do it religiously, but when I step on the scale and see my panic weight, and I'm like, okay, so hit the panic button and decide that something has to be done now for that period of
Yeah.
time that I'm being more disciplined with what I eat. You can tell the difference. My body
Yeah.
feels different. All
Yeah.
right. Now that kind of blends into to Maharri, the yoga instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, almost all of your vids and pics are yoga related, one way or the other. You spend quite a lot of time doing yoga. You're very disciplined with it. How did you get started with it? And what got you started, and how has it been?
I got started with yoga when I first found out that I had lupus. Really and truly, that's when I took that deep dive. I used to like play around because really and truly, I've always been like a health conscious, more on the aware side of life. Um, like I think one of my favorite quote in high school in the yearbook is like, I'm on a diet. So literally, it's just something that's always just been a part of me, but I just never knew my way, right? I was just like all over the place. But so yoga was something that I always like liked, but never really practiced religiously. But when I got diagnosed with lupus, I started meditating as a way to like manage my stress. So, and then from meditation, I started, going deeper into the asanas, which is like the physical postures, the
Mhm.
physical part of yoga. And from there, I decided that, hey, this is just so revolutionary just
Right.
based on the whole experience I was having within myself. And I'm like, definitely want to see,
How far
more,
this
like
goes?
go further into it, not just to become a teacher, but to learn the philosophies and, the
Mhm.
teachings and from the ancient sages and stuff. And so I went to yoga teacher training. And from there, I'm like, yeah, this
This
is
is it.
definitely the thing for me. And in that, yoga helped me really step boldly into Rastafari liberty. Because again, at 18, I swear I was going to, like, after I was done with high school, I chop off my hair. I'm like, yeah, that's it, Rasta straight. But I never really went through with it. Never really had any direction or real sense of self. Still, I was like, still trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out who I was. But once I started practicing yoga religiously, like I realized that this is where I needed to be as far as liberty and grounding myself in this human experience. So infusing that lifestyle with Rastafari liberty, the yoga lifestyle with the
Mm-hmm.
Rastafari liberty just, became like a revolutionary process for I that just empowered me to the fullest and just like, yo, man, a warrior out here in this time. So we
Right.
gotta get the work done.
Yeah. And I can appreciate that. It's funny you say that too, because I feel like, based on the kind of connotation that was placed on Rastafarianism and these things, it's like I was the same way. Like when I left home, it's like, yeah, the first chance I get, I'm gonna grow some dreadlocks, and the first chance I got, I grew some dreadlocks, right?
Right.
But it's like you're right. There was a period of time where it's almost like the support that you would have if you decided that you were gonna do just about anything else with yourself, with your hair, you would have had a whole bunch of people to tell you how to proceed. But it's like
Right.
when you decide to walk a certain path that is probably less popular in the wider society, all of a sudden you're being ostracized, and it's almost like you have to figure this thing out for yourself. Not because there's anything wrong with the path you want to go, but just because it's almost like society still doesn't know what to do with it.
And growing your hair or locking your hair is such a trend right now. And I really commend ones who do that because, we have to own our natural self, right?
Mhm.
But back in the day, it was not.
Yeah, it was frowned upon.
A lot of fight for people who were going to here for religious. Not, I wouldn't even call it religious because Rastafari don't have nothing to do with no religious isms and schisms, but for spiritual practices, right?
Hmm.
They came under a lot of fight and they had
Hmm.
to live and endure. So for us to be where we are now, people literally have fought just so we could wear this crown on our head.
I
Yeah.
concur. I concur. I concur.
Yeah.
And it's good though. I like it. Like you said, a lot more people are embracing it. It's a beautiful thing, really. I wish
Yeah.
everybody would embrace it. You know what I mean? Because I think whatever your hair does in its natural state is how you were intended to be.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? So whatever your hair does naturally, that is how you were intended to be.
Well, so that explains the bald head. I just had to. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm sorry. It
you know
was
what?
just too easy. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I know. But you know what though? When I had the dreadlocks, well, two things. A, I had to go undercover in a Babylon because I didn't want them see me coming from a too far off. And at one point I realized that I could be who I was and still have the same belief system without it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at one point
Right.
I felt like
Right.
I needed
Right.
it to I felt like I needed it to be more black, more
Mm-hmm.
me, more
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican in America, more whatever.
Mm-hmm. I
And then
got
after
you.
a while I realized that you know what? I am centered enough that without it, I'm still me.
Hypes.
I still believe everything I believe, and with my head as clean as a whistle, you have a conversation with me, and before the conversation is over, you'll get my actual vibe, and it has nothing to do with my outward appearance per se.
Yes,
You know
I.
what I mean? So that's really. I have some people here laugh after me because you're poking stuff at me. I don't know. All this
No, I
poke.
mean it was just a joke. Still, I
No,
love
I
bald head.
get.
Nothing wrong
Uh
with bald
huh.
head. Like
Mm-hmm. Uh
I'm
huh.
just saying, you hear do what it naturally does, and you have to
There's a
embrace that, right?
Peter Tosh song I like in a boy about something about glass hoses and choice toad. But anyways, um, so I've been checking out some of these posts you have been making about yoga warriors. And it's like voting or whatever. What is yoga warriors? What is that about exactly?
It's a competition that I'm a part of for yoga instructors, and the prize is if you win, you'll get featured in the yoga journal, which is major in the yoga world. So apart from the publicity, you also get to win $10,000, which would
That's
be
not bad.
nice for me to like
I know, right?
things that I'm trying to pursue in my life. So that's really what it is. Just a competition. I'm just asking warriors every day, please vote for me, please vote for me, because I would really love to be featured in the
Mm-hmm.
magazine. I have my reasons. First, as a Black woman in the yoga world, and not just Black, but Caribbean woman, doing the works here. I feel like I have a voice and I have something important to say, and I can inspire young ones like myself in the Caribbean to be and become who they're meant to be in life. And yeah, the 10 grand would be a night. It's COVID time, right? And I
I
want
know,
to
right?
I want to pursue other things as it relates to nutrition and Ayurveda, which is like the sister to yoga, and
Mhm.
so the 10 grand would set me up really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Make
I
sure
want
you put the link. Make sure when the comments are done, you put the link in the comments so that the folks that are viewing now or later, they can check that out. Now,
okay.
um, do you do as a yoga instructor? Do you do online sessions? Like now it's COVID time, like you mentioned. Are you still going into the yoga studio, or are you doing online or both? How is that going now?
Yeah, I'm doing both. I'm doing online hybrid in studio.
Okay.
So I do online and I also do in studio, and I also stream from the studio to folks at home who don't want to come into the studio, which we call hybrid.
Okay.
So yeah, we're making it work. The work have to get done. So yeah.
Okay. Yoga kind of, I don't know, yoga people always seem kind of centered. Is it the discipline associated with the craft itself why you think yields that result?
Yeah, that has a lot to do with it. It's not just that though, but the discipline definitely has a lot to do with it. The practice of yoga is really about self-study, right? When you're practicing, it takes you into this space of self-awareness. And when you're able to do that and study self, and you're able to now more govern yourself better, right? So yoga is yoking, mind, body, spirit. And when you yoke mind, body, spirit, it's like that's your center, right?
Mm,
It allows you to tap in more, to that vibration. And I think that's why you find that most people who practice yoga, you know, may seem a little bit more chill. Because I used to be a hothead. Like people who know me from back in the day would tell you, they used to call me like a firecracker. Because let me tell you, but yoga,
yoga chilled you out.
this is why I practice myself. I said, Mom, when I road rage, I'm like, no, home. But this is the practice, So I give thanks for having for stepping into that realization and stepping into the practice so wholeheartedly, because it really has revolutionized my whole experience in this human
I like
form.
it. I like it. Now, to the yoga, to you being the yoga instructor. All right, I want to highlight some people. We had Katie about you that checked in. So that's New York. Christopher is also. We have New York and Connecticut in the house in a real serious way right now. Nikki is saying yoga is definitely physical and spiritual,
Yeah.
and she loves it. Christopher is in Connecticut. Grace, I don't remember where you're there now. Grace, I got I don't remember. Check in with your location, but you know what go on. All right, now the yoga kind of ties with the business owner. So I'm gonna actually tell me about the yoga studio is the business, or what else from a business standpoint is there for you?
From a business standpoint, I am the owner of Wellness Rebirth, which is a lifestyle company. We focus on, like I said, creating strategy to help people come into a space of living more holistically. And that also infused with yoga, nutrition, and just again, a complete living of just teaching people little things and tricks and things that they can use just to live better. So we focus a lot on detoxing, especially when it comes to the nutrition aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, and that's really what it is. I don't own a studio yet, but I do manage a yoga studio in New Jersey called Complete Health Yoga. Um, And what else do I do?
You
And I
said
just
New
do a lot
Jersey?
of yoga.
The
Yeah.
Grace Allen is in New Jersey. When the person I asked to check it, so we have the whole tri-state area. We have New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey in the house right now. Christopher say I should heal up Marsha. Heal up Marsha.
Blessings, Christopher.
Yep. I'm sorry, you weren't finished. I kind of jumped in the conversation.
No, so Wellness Rebirth, like I was saying, that's my baby. That was birthed literally again when I got diagnosed with lupus and decided that all right, no more, walking the fence. Like I have to, fully step into this space of healing myself. Because I wasn't going to take conventional prescription, no kind of drugs wasn't going to go into my body. One, because I don't trust the system, so I'm like not doing it. So I had to get radical about my health. And once I started shifting and switching up my nutrition and eating better and just doing everything, going out into nature, hugging trees, hiking, like every people, there were times where people literally questioned my sanity, like they thought I was possessed. But I was just on this radical, like still am, because it's still a journey, a process. And so once I started making that shift, I'm like, I need to share everything that I'm learning with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started Wellness Rebirth. And first I was focused on just nutrition and detoxing. And
Right.
then once I started teaching yoga, I merged the two and it just became this beautiful, like,
Yeah.
embodiment of just
Nice.
lifestyle and vibrations. So yeah.
Nice. Nice. Nikki in New York is saying that she tried yoga thinking she was gonna be all zen out and thing, but she realized that it's actually a workout too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a workout and a work in.
I
Yeah.
can feel that workout and working. Now you
Yeah.
host our co-host, I'm not sure the details, the Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat. Now I think one of them is coming up. Give us the 411 on the Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat.
Yeah. So once I started trotting, seriously just trotting Rastafari, I curated the retreat, not just for others, but also for
Christopher, so you
myself.
can still have, I'm sorry, Christopher, so you can still have the retreat at his place. I don't know what I talk about. I think that boy, I sip too much sauce. So, Christopher, it's
Ah,
8:30 in the evening, friend. How much sauce in the pot so early?
not good.
All right, I'm sorry, Washa. Go ahead. Christopher and I are great friends. Christopher and I went to high school, went to Manchester High together.
Sip
Uh,
water. Yeah, I know Chris from high school.
pure bad behaving person. But anyways, you were saying, my dear.
Yeah. So the retreat was curated um, to just take folks in this journey of healing, and share with them the liberty of Rastafari, so they could not to so anyone could become. It's not We're not upon no indoctrination thing, but just to wake people up in how they can live more sustainably, more holistically, and so that's where the idea came from after just like studying some, the Rastafari philosophy and the way of life and really diving deep into that. I'm like, you know what? This could really revolutionize the way people take care of themselves. Maybe just homestead growing, a few veggies and stuff at home, herbs and things. And so, just learning, sorry, different modalities that will help them just step into a space of sustainability and
Mhm.
healing. And that's where the Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat came from. And yeah,
And
have one coming up May
no, go ahead.
17th to the 24th. Yeah.
May 17th to the 24th. Where?
In Jamaica, in Treasure Beach, we're going to St. Elizabeth, which is where, well, I actually was born in Manchester, but I feel like I'm a Saint girl because I'm right there on the border of St. Elizabeth and Manchester, right? It's called New Forest. It's a little village
I
right
know
there.
you are. That's a friend
So
from
I
you.
feel like I'm both Manchester girl, Saint girl, like, So it's a joy to be going to St. Elizabeth and taking these warriors to, the place I grew up because, as a little girl, like, you know, this is just like, it's so amazing. I just can't wait. It's just gonna be so
So,
special.
so Nikki in New York, Nikki, I got you, boo. Nikki in New York wants to come to the retreat. What does she need to do? How does she go about this?
She could go to my website, wellnessrebirth.com, and go to /RWWR dash official, or just go to Wellness Retreat, the page for Wellness Retreat, and all the information is there. And you can just send me an email, and we can get on the phone and we can talk, and I can get you all set up. There's still time. I only have 2 spots left. So if any two brave warriors want to try, because you have to be brave to try in these times. Right?
Nikki, where we go? Nikki, may I go? Let's agree. Let's agree. Yeah. But make sure when we're done, Maharaj, make sure when we're done, you go in the comments and put all these things in there so that folks, because the time just changed. This is the first show I'm actually having at 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. because of the daylight saving that caught me so off guard the other day. I tried to use
Me
Jamaica
too.
time as the constant. I use Jamaica time as a constant time. I change the time here, but I keep the time saved there. But some persons really have not made the adjustment yet. But so make sure we put the information in there so folks can get it. But yeah, Nikki, I got you, boo. Go check it out. Go check it out. All right, so let's move on to Maharri, the author and poet. Now, the author and poet, it came in the mail. Look what came in the mail on Friday. And I was sitting here and I was reading it and I was like, yo, I'm telling you, pass on levels. But anyways, the book is Soul Expressions. It's a collection of poetry. Tell me about the publication and the whole, thought process about coming up with the publication. Are you still writing? Are there more books coming and so on? Let's hear about that.
Like I said, I've been writing a really long time. Like just writing. At first, I was just writing to write. And then it turned into poetry. I was a drama student, so I always loved writing and expressing myself. And so just writing poems really was just like a therapy for me, right? Just
Okay.
like my way of coping during my teenage years, trying to figure life out. And even beyond that, I kept writing. And few years ago, I decided that I wanted to publish some because I have tons of stuff that I've written, but I just decided I wanted to publish some of the stuff that I've written in collaboration with stuff that I wrote specifically for this book.
Okay.
And I just dived into it. It was like a therapy for me
Mhm.
to publish, to write it and then publish it. It's like, if I can do this, if I can put myself out there, like there's nothing that I can't do. Like, this is, conversation with having myself because I was
Right.
terrified, right? But I'm like, you gotta step out of your comfort zone and give thanks to Empower Yoga in New Jersey, which I used to teach at Empower Yoga, and they have this quote on the wall. And, you know, I, I just I just decided that I had to write the book. It challenged me to step out of my comfort zone, and I published. And yeah, and it's done. I do write. I still write. I have something in the works that I'm working on. I have the title already. How I Survived My Mind. So I'm still working
Well, that
on.
sounds nice. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm still working on the content. There's a couple projects that I'm working on. So, but yeah, I have things that's gonna come out in the near
Nice.
future.
Now check this. So I got the book. I was scoping out the book. There are two statements in your book that I want to know more about. Right?
Mm.
On the about the author page, on the about the author page in the book, you write that you are a light worker on a radical journey to seek truth, speak truth, and live within the awareness of love. What does something even mean?
Because that's what came into I and I spirit. That's how I see myself. I don't really like to say, "Oh, talk about yourself." Like writing a bio sometimes is so challenging for me because
Mhm.
I'm just being, and yeah, I don't really like titles and stuff. But as far as light worker, it's just the energy of the Most High that I feel within I and I self, and not being afraid to allow that light to shine forward, right? So treading through the darkness, emerging into the light, knowing who I am, that I am a child of the Most High and I am love. And so from that knowingness, I can express and share that love and, do the work, right? Live out my purpose, dharma, service. Like, this is why I'm here. I'm here for a reason. I'm not a coincidence. I was given a reason to be here, ordained. And so, based on that knowingness, I'm like, well, I must serve. I
Right.
must answer the call and I must do what I have to do. And so, yeah, but I have to do it also in a way of love, you know.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I like
because
that. I
that's
like
what
that.
I come from love. I always felt love as a child. Never one day, I never really felt like parents loved me. Siblings, yeah, we didn't get along sometimes, but I just always felt love as a child. So I know what that feels like. And then feeling that love within myself, I know for a fact what that feels like. So
Nice.
yeah, I have to share the love and
That
spread the
sounds
love.
so free. That sounds so free, and I like how that sounds.
Yeah,
It's
see
funny.
the picture is free, right? See?
Yeah, the
Free.
picture looks free. Feet off the ground,
Yeah, jumping up in
sunlight.
the
Yeah,
air and
yeah, I like it. I like it. Your response just now reminded me of an interview I heard with Bob Marley and Neville Willoughby on a show called The Evening People Show. Actually, that's where I got the idea for this show from. From Neville, old show. Most people don't even know. I'm probably telling my age, even knowing this show at all. It used to come out on, I think, Sunday evening, called The Evening People Show. And Neville asked Bob how long he's been. I think he asked him how long he's been a Rasta. And Bob said, I'm an Rasta from creation. And Neville kind of rephrased the question. And Bob said to him, no, I understand what you're asking me now, but I can't answer the question the way you're asking the question. You know what I mean? I'm an Rasta from creation because God did set it out from the starting. So I am not gonna be a Rasta. So I man really is a Rasta from creation. Never have any more answer for anything more questions to ask. But your response just now kind of reminded me of that because I listen to that interview all the time. I really
yeah,
like the interview.
I know that interview very well.
Uh-huh. Yes, I like that interview because it kind of give you perspective. I tell folks all the time that when it comes to persons like Bob and other persons too throughout history, they were so convinced and so convicted in what they believe and lived that even if you absolutely disagree with it, you still have to appreciate their diligence or the diligence with which they went about their thing. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not out here trying to tell you to do what I do per se, but if you see me do what I do and how passionate I am about doing it, you either go you're definitely going to appreciate it, you're definitely going to respect it, and if it happens to win you over, great. But at the very least it will make you go about what you are into differently just by acknowledging how you see me go about what I am passionate about. You know what I mean? And that response you gave just now kind of gave that vibe off where you found something that was, you realize this is valuable. I value this. This means a lot to me. This makes me happy. This can value something to somebody else too. And if I put it out there, like-minded persons can actually hold on to it and learn something from it.
And not even just that, just spark something
Hmm?
inside of someone so they can, just that tiny spark can really help to, set that blaze inside of someone's heart and spirit and, illuminate their whole consciousness or, their whole path on this journey, like help them find their way. So it doesn't have to even relate or correlate in any way. It
Right.
just has to spark, and then from there that person, can evolve.
Mhm.
And that's really what it's all about,
I agree. I agree. Now, on the back, the other statement on the back cover of the book, you write, "An entire universe lives within me. This is where I dwell." Again, where they deep something they mean, Marsha. We not on the level where they on. Where they deep something they mean.
I don't think of myself separate or apart from the universe, the grand embodiment of life. Um, Whether it's in the ethers or it's matter. Like, I feel like I'm made up of atoms and neurons and, electricity, everything that exists within the universe, it exists within I. And so I found that through meditation also a connection to that. And so I say I live inside I, so in I and I universe, right? And so that helps me personally, just not get caught up in the construct,
Mhm.
the distractions really, and just focus on the connectivity to source, to the all, the absolute, to every living, breathing thing that is life, and just live within that awareness, and then be able to come into ourself and just rest there, find solitude, find answers, or whatever I need. Everything I need is right inside of me.
Marsha,
Every
man, we can't par, we can't par though. Man, we can't par. They live it today where they par, we can't par. We can't hang out and we can't meet the family them and all these things and hang out because I really thought because this is how true a lot of the guests that I have on the show come on the show. There's something about the ones I don't know personally. There's something about their person, something about their vibe, something about their aura that kind of you realize that you know what this person on whatever frequency I am vibrating, this person is somewhat vibrating on a similar frequency. So if we were to
connectivity.
have a conversation, we could actually have some real conversation because the vibration that the frequency that they are vibrating on is similar to the frequency that you're vibrating on. So to hear you speak the way you're speaking is actually pretty brilliant to me personally. I'm just saying. Now I'm gonna ask you one more thing. Well, before we move on to the next section of the show here, anything else you want to talk to us about? Anything else you want the viewers to know about? Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat, yoga studio, City Life.
I mean, I teach yoga online. I have a virtual studio set up. So if you don't have to be, in studio to practice with me, you could practice with me virtually. I just love doing what I do. Like, I show up with my whole heart. So therefore I have to do a lot of self work, right? To replenish self care.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
because of how passionate I am about what I do, especially with nutrition and with yoga, Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat, I've been pouring my all into manifesting it. Last year I had to postpone because of COVID
Mm-hmm.
or cancel, whatever. But we're going this year, and the intention is set, and we're going. And I've just been pouring so much love, so much energy, and I just know this is going to be so special for the ones who are committed to taking the journey, because we need this healing right now. It's not a joke, because Babylon is not easing up on us. Like, this whole
True.
Roman system is not easing up on us. They're not going easy on us. So we have to make sure we stay diligent and militant on the track to heal ourselves and learn how to heal ourselves, because they're not trying to heal us, like,
True.
they're really not. Like, they're not. Right. And
Right.
once we understand this, we
Mhm.
can move into a space of like beginning to learn what we need to do, go back to ancient practices and things. What did your great grandmother used to do? How did she used to heal herself? And learn some of these ancient medicines and modalities, and really start tapping into that energy, reconnecting with that, because, like I said, it's our duty. Because again, their agenda is not to heal us. Their agenda is something completely different, which is for another show.
Mhm.
But yeah,
No,
so with that said, I'm so excited about this retreat because of, especially right now in this time, like I just know I have to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, Mash. I really appreciate you and your stance on all these things because I don't think there is enough deliberate effort made to heal ourselves. I don't think there's enough deliberate effort made to uplift ourselves. I don't think there's enough deliberate effort made to actually find ourselves, find out who we are, who harness our worth and be the best versions of ourselves, not from a career standpoint per se,
Right.
but from a best version of myself from a holistic standpoint. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Can I actually, whatever bad habit I have, can I actually center myself enough to not do this for however long I want to not do it for? What thing that I do or things that I do that I have to do, and it's not even something that's good for me, do I have enough focus, enough channel, enough mind, brain power, enough centeredness to actually tell wean myself essentially off something that is bad for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Christopher, you may have drop out for with smoking cigarettes. I apologize. I know you may have drop out for we're friends. But yeah, just saying. All right. Before we get in trouble with Chris, I'm afraid a long time. Um, So we're talking with Maharri today. If you're just joining the show, thanks for joining the show. We've learned so much, and I love the vibe. I love how Christopher saying felt it. Christopher said, "You feel bad, Josh, what for him?" Oh, Christopher, we've come too far. Look for where we are come from. Come now. From where I sell ice cream down the bottom, down what they call it? What they call it? The little wherever they call first to third form. From where I sell ice cream in the little quadrangle. So we pay $10 and domino and lose we lunch money from Monday. Anyways, um, so we're gonna move on to the second section of the show. We have to read some poetry. We have to read some poetry. My book is behind me. Your book is in my hand. So we probably not gonna have as much time to deep dive into the poems like we usually do, but I would really like for you to read a few of the pieces for us. We'll see how many we get to when we hit the time mark. So, how about I pick one? How about I pick one and you read that one?
Go for it.
All right, let's do Truth in Light.
Truth, truth is light.
Truth is light. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Truth is light. Let's have Truth is Light. People, the book is Soul Expressions, a collection of poetry, Maharri. I don't know. Is it available in Jamaica, by the way? I got mine off Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where in
Amazon.
Jamaica is it? Oh,
No,
Amazon.
it's not available. It's just Amazon.
It's
Yeah.
just Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The poem is Truth is Light. Me ready when you're ready, miss.
All right. Let's see. From the darkness, the truth unfolds. The truth became the light became the way. The darkness fades as the light brightens. Revelation. The truth brings salvation. Redemption for the soul trapped in the dark, but still searching with its heart. Waking up, a light so blinding stretched across the horizon. Awakening. The truth is your soul awakening. Do you hear me? The truth is your soul awakening. The truth is your soul awakening.
Read.
Thank
I,
you.
I like it. No, Maharaj, that piece is almost biblical in how it presents. It presents as almost biblical. More than the light and the darkness that is referenced in it. There seems to be a level of rebirth or acceptance, like seeking out a different space. Now, was that your thought process behind this piece?
Yeah, in some regards, it absolutely was in the sense of emerging in awareness, right? Becoming our highest self. But to do that, you have to move through the darkness, realize true self. And through that realization, there is redemption, there's salvation. That revelation brings to fruition that whole embodiment of just rebirthing. So, some people call it born again, whatever, if you want to put it into like a religious thing. I don't associate biblical anything with religious anything. Like biblical things is just like scriptures, ancient scriptures, guidelines given to us for, to help us on this journey, to help us find our way. The religion came after. It's actually, that's what inspired the
I
religion.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
But
That's interesting.
so yeah, so it's this realization of self, the realization of your God essence, right? So you can't like come to realize that God essence outside of yourself is everything that's inside of you. And so that realization, that truth, coming into light, because that's the way, that God essence, that's the way. There is no other way. Like no matter how much that's it. In my realization, in my chart, in my journey, I know that's the way. It's not what I believe, it's what I know. So with that realization, again, it's your soul awakening because you have this energy that's connected to source. And through that connection, it awakens the soul, the spirit, and the soul and the spirit in I experience are two different things, right?
Mhm.
But the soul is the thing that we need to awaken, we need to um, protect as well, right? The spirit is infinite light, source energy, but the soul is something that we need to protect, and it aids in our evolution um, in this conscious human experience.
Marsha, your bud like yours. I'm sorry, Mahara, your bud like yours. Yeah, I tell you.
No, Masha Mahar.
We can manage you. We can manage you. Let me see. Who is this? Jerbian Williams. Say big up yourself, Marsha. You don't know.
Blessings, journey, oneness, and
Yeah, man.
love.
Jerbian, a good youth.
Yeah,
Um,
my Bridget. We used to be in IIDA together.
really?
Yeah, good friends.
I know Chris, I know Jeremy and Mahara, I don't know. I don't know. But I missed but I missed the day at school when we introduce each other to each other friends. We never come to school and do that. But it's close to jump the back fence and go to Willow Gate. Anyways, now all right. So seeing that we're on a roll here, I'm just gonna pick poems and you need to read them for me. That's it. The next one, the next one is outside of ordinary. Outside of ordinary. Let's hear that one.
Outside of ordinary. Ooh, I like this one. This one is
You
one of
see,
my
I
favorite
like
ones.
that one too.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones. On the inside, looking out, like a monk in solitude, I ponder, what's all of us about? Which one could see that life was meant to be simpler? Simplicity is divine serenity. Breathe in, breathe out, simplicity divine. I stand outside of ordinary, calm and completely at peace with the understanding that journeying inside is our greatest gift to self. No one wants to be on the inside, and no one wants to be on the outside. Inside of self, outside of ordinary. Everyone is desperately fighting to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be understood, to be appreciated, to be accepted, to be respected. But on the inside looking out, I ponder, how can you begin to expect or even demand these things without first taking the journey into self? A journey dark and blissful, cold and lonely, yet empowering and uplifting. A complete unraveling of all you thought you knew, revealing how little you really know. On the outside of ordinary, I found truth, I found peace, I found clarity. I found love. On the outside of ordinary,
Sorry.
I
I
found
found
myself.
myself. Me like it, me like it, me like it. Now, on the outside of ordinary, I often say that, and especially when it comes to people and relationships, not only man-woman relationship, but any relationship with any permutation you want to look at. I often say that persons are no good to anyone in a relationship if they don't really take time out to understand themselves and know who they are, and are comfortable with that self. Now, the vibe I get from outside of ordinary, it kind of reminds me of that, but it seems like there's more to it. There's more behind it. Is
There's
that?
always more.
Tell me
There's
about it.
always
Tell me about
more.
the more. The more is what I want to
There's
know.
always
Tell me about
you
the
have to
more.
discover the more for yourself. I'm just kidding. Um, um
Wazim said the poem them great, them conscious and deep and all these things. Yeah. I think
um
Jermaine is in Florida. So we have Florida, New York, New Jersey. Wazim, tell me where they are again. Me no remember. Me always I forget and me apologize. Me now go forget again if you tell me now. Go ahead, Maharri.
um outside of ordinary is just like an observation almost. A social study, sociology, just being the fly on the wall and observing and then retreating into ourselves and realizing, right? And so it seems sometimes, especially in today's society, that no one wants to be on the outside of ordinary. Everybody wants to fit in the box, right? um, and and inside, when you're in the box, there's just no space for you to move inside yourself. And
Mhm.
so, moving inside of yourself in that, it allows you to truly know at source who you are, or to begin to uncover, because you might never know in this one lifetime. I have to come back a few more times. I don't know. But, begin to uncover and unravel, and reprogram or recondition self to what resonates as truth. And so most times, most people don't want to do that hard work because it is hard work, but on the other side of that, you get to experience what's called bliss in
Mhm.
essence, right? You get to experience feeling empowered and strong, in who you are and what your purpose is. So therefore, there's no need to fit in because you're really here on a mission, you know. So it really does go deep, but it really also comes from a place I've always felt like I don't fit in, you know. I never felt like I fit. The only place I used to feel like I fit in was when I was in drama, you know,
Miss
in
Kolai.
high school, Miss Collide. That's the only time I felt like I fit in anywhere, when Miss Collide drama group. But
Mhm.
I don't really feel like I fit in, nowhere. High school, just go through, but I really felt like I fit in. And
Mhm.
and still now I have a lot of times where I feel like I don't fit in. So which is why I focus on my purpose and my mission. Because obviously if I don't fit in, then I have to know where I need to be, you
Mhm.
know.
Well, there's a thing that like it says in this piece that everyone is desperately fighting to be seen, to be heard, to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be understood, to be appreciated, to be accepted, to be respected. But that is like, but when you can actually, be comfortable with yourself outside of ordinary, it says you will find truth, you'll find peace, you'll find clarity, you'll find love, you'll find yourself. And like Narda Chambers, who also checked in, New York is representing in a big way tonight. So the
Hi
most
Nardia. Hi
powerful
Nardia.
relationship you will ever have is the
Is with
relationship
yourself.
with
Yeah.
yourself. And
And
I
that's it. That's it. How can you expect ones to accept you, love you, and all these things that we expect of others, but we're not giving that to ourselves because we're not taking the time, inside of self to nurture, to do the self-care, the self-study that's needed. How can we expect others to do that? You have to do that for you. And once you begin to do that for you, you become the embodiment, and then people won't have a choice but to treat you, love you, and respect you, and all of those things, right? But you first have to do the work for yourself, right? You can't expect others to do that if you're not doing that for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I'm loving this. All right, I'm loving this. Basha, we're on a roll. So I'm just gonna pick another one and we just keep it moving. Let's do distant memory.
I love that one too.
You see, I just me tell us about you can power, let me tell you now.
Well, I love all of them because every one of them have a special meaning. So I do like all the pieces.
Distant memory is a poem. Let's hear it.
Energies from a distant time, a distant land, a distant being, vibrating through the anchor of this current life, this current time, this current mind. I close my eyes only to find visions from another space, another time, another life, invading the deepest, most sacred parts of my being, reaching into my mind. I can feel myself. My heart is welcoming, but my mind is questioning. Who is this being I feel invading these most sacred parts of me? My heart, like an ocean filled with emotion, invoking the simplicities and complexities of something seemingly ancestral. I can feel my soul, a distant soul, wiser and quite old, reaching beyond the veils of this ancient time into the realm of this modern mind, this modern time. I can feel my soul, stories untold, stories unknown, seeking to be told, to unfold, to be known beyond its ancient time, evading the barriers of time, etching hieroglyphics in my soul into my modern mind. I can feel my soul, compelling me to look back at time of old, times of gold, times long told. I can feel my soul, a distant realm where time is untamed, reminding me that I am the captain of my infinite soul. I can feel my soul.
Yo, but all right, I want a bud. I want a bud. I want to bust some blanket at the ear. That one a bud. Yeah, yes, I like this. I like this a lot, mate. I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. Yeah, that one has a lot for real. Now, this is a distant memory. A distant memory seems like an awakening. It seems like a channeling of sorts, a becoming, a evolution of the soul. Right now, this evolution of the soul. How important do you believe this evolution is in a person, reaching their actual reality,
It's
their
everything.
true self, their best self?
Yeah, it's everything. It is the absolute everything. There is nothing else but the evolution of consciousness, the evolution of our soul, the realization, of that God essence. That's what my son called it. So that's where I got it. That God essence within us, and you know, like feeling that connection, and just knowing at source that this is the only truth that there is. Like everything else is a construct. And really and truly, this is the only truth. And just reconnecting to that source energy. People call it God, and people call it Jehovah. I like to say Jah, and that fuels that nice spirit. But that's the evolution of the soul. It's the only it's the only way. It's
I
about
can.
transcendence. It's about ascending into our highest self, becoming who we're meant to be, not just in this lifetime, but beyond this, infinitely. So
But
it's just
like,
that this lifetime requires a lot of work,
mhm.
you know. Um, and you have to be strong, and you have to be brave, and you have to protect your soul like you would protect your newborn child. Like, as a mother, that's the first place my mind goes, because
Right,
like
right, right,
I didn't
right.
realize I was homicidal until I became a mother, and then I'm like, but that kind of compromises the soul. But that's where my mind goes. You have to guard your soul. Can't sell it out for a happy meal. Like,
No, I
literally, you
for
you
real.
know people selling out these days. You got to know yourself,
Mhm.
right? You have to know.
It's funny how I don't think there's enough deliberate emphasis or deliberate consciousness about these things. It's almost like the pressure to assimilate, the pressure
I
to
love that word.
be to be normal. I mean, the pressure to try to be like the Joneses, to aspire to be like the Joneses is just out there in such epic quantities that is almost like you seeking out yourself, you seeking out you trying to get to the bottom of what makes me me. Is almost like it's so taboo. It's like them look upon you with a side eye, like you're too deep, or you're too this, or you're too that, simply because I choose to do this. I choose to try to uplift a person rather than put them down. I choose to try to help someone, right? I choose to treat the earth like it is an organism that needs to be appreciated and respected and treated as
Mhm.
such. I treat my body as if it needs to be respected, and it's almost like they're looking at you like you're crazy. You know what I mean? And to I don't think they're just I think the way we're being socialized nowadays is almost like we have to wonder, why are we putting the value on what do we think the end product is, if these set of things over here are the things that we emphasize and place all the emphasis on. What do we Are we bothering to wonder what the end result is, the byproducts are?
No, it's just the instant gratification of, the construct, the illusion, right? The devil is crafty, very master illusion, like very crafty. And that's what this society is built on. Um, and again, I'm not coming from a religious place. It's just how I perceive life and how I perceive the world, you know, and just having this experience that I'm having as a human being.
Hmm.
Um, you have to be really
I
strong.
feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
All right, now check this out, Marsha. I have one, two, three, four more poems that I liked. Obviously, we don't have time to do all four of them. We have time to do one more. I'm going to tell you what the four of them are. You're going to read the one. You're going to tell us which one you're going to read, and read that one, right? So the other ones I had scoped out were Humankind, Pushback, Change, and Level Up. Humankind, Pushback, Change, and Level Up were the other four I thought we would have gotten to read today.
Hmm.
But you get to do one more. You pick one, and whichever one you pick is good for me.
It's so hard to choose, but okay. Um,
Or you know what? I'm gonna give you options here, like Pitbull and
no,
Steve Marley. I'm gonna give you options here. Um, I could just reserve the questions I had, and you read them.
oh, we could just read one. I'm
All
just trying to choose which one.
right,
It
take
has
your
to
time.
be meaningful. All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, that's businesswoman right here. Which one are we gonna do?
Level up.
Level up. I like level up. Let's do it.
Are you brave enough? Confident in your journey with the power to ascend and feel true glory. Level up. Are you strong enough? Are you willing to let go of conditioning, the fixity of perpetrated psychological ideals, and experience the novelties that will strengthen your being, strange and deep, revitalizing and free, a sacred form of light, a sacred form that brings peace and light, expanding beyond desire's delight, leveling up in the space within, movement fearless without the perimeters of sin. Level up. Are you bold enough to live free of things, illusions that fuel the confusion? No more instant gratification, just a pure and true manifestation.
Are you conscious
Are
enough?
you conscious enough?
Level up
Level up.
yourself. Level up yourself, road boy. We feel like now level up. Level up reminds me, of a song by Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers called Free Like We Want to Be. Now, I love Free Like We Want to Be. I love Ziggy Marley and the Melody Makers. I'm sure you know that song, Free
Mhm.
Like We Want to Be. Like how much of what we do today is based on conscious choice versus you mentioned conditioning in the poem. How much of what we do is based on conscious choice versus conditioning versus lack or deficiencies? Where do you think the average person sits in this spectrum? Are
I'm
we?
not I'm not trying to judge anyone here, Martin.
No, it's not.
Martin.
No, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's
No,
not
but
even. It's not even judging them. It's not even judge. No, because here's the thing. In so much as people talk about nurture nature, people talk about what affects people and how it affects people. There's still choice. There is still choice. We still choose to do a lot of what we do. Whether we're prepared to deal with consequences of that is a whole other thing. But we actually do choose
and
to
much of
do.
our choices comes from the subconscious mind. People just, again, the subconscious mind is programmed, you know, for you to respond and react a certain way. And a lot of people are, reacting from that subconscious mind that has been programmed or conditioned, in the ways of the world. Um, and I think the subconscious mind is very important. As the challenge comes in when you have to reprogram or recondition your subconscious mind, um, outside of the ways of the world in that regard, right?
Mhm.
To align more with spirit, to align more with true self. Um, and I don't think much of the world is operating from that space. Um, much of the world is, again, trapped in the illusion, and it's really, I'm not going to say it's their fault, because if you don't know, you don't know, you know but once you do know, it's your duty to live from that awareness, and not only that, but to share what you know, and again, spark that light. um but yeah, much of the world is living from that subconscious place, and we have to like dig deeper within
Mhm.
ourselves so we can become who we're meant to be. So when I say level up, it's really leveling up within yourself, within your consciousness, raised to a higher vibration of thinking, being, living, what you put into your body, what you put into your mind, what you read, scroll on your social media, what you digest mentally, and physically, within your body, within your spirit. The whole work, it really is, an awareness, and just choosing consciously as much as you can. They call it mindfulness. Um, Sometimes I like to think of it as mind empty, because it's something like you always have to like just wipe the slate clean and just
Yeah.
come again,
Yeah.
and just presencing yourself to what is now, because really and truly all we have is now. But most of us are living either too much in the past or too much in the future, and there is no balance in the now moment. And so, you know you have to always find yourself coming back to this very present moment that we're in right now.
Nice, nice. Well, shall be like talk to you, see? May I tell you? You're philosophical, bud. You're deep. But like these things. Now, but Maharri, it's been great. I know I'm crazy like that. It's been great. I enjoyed myself. I had a lot of laughs. This was very insightful, very
Thank
inspirational
you.
for me, and I'm sure for the viewers. Um, Before I let you go, is there anything else you want to share with us? Like I said before about the Rastafari Way retreat, about where to get your poetry, about anything before we jump off this live here.
Um, yeah, you can reach out. You can find me at wellnessrebirth.com. And
Which she's going to put in the comments as soon as we sign off, so
how
you
do
can
I?
find
Okay.
it.
I just go to chat and write it.
Mhm.
I just go to chat and write it. Wellnessrebirth.com. I'm on Instagram at Wellness Rebirth. That's my business page. At Maharri11, my personal page. Um, and Rastafari Way Wellness Retreat. Everything is on the website. So
Mhm.
just go to the website. It's like a one-stop shop.
One stop
I'm
shop.
also on Facebook, but I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Maharaj. I thank you for joining me today. I thank you for being my guest. I thank you for all the insights that you shared with us today. I'm actually gonna rewatch the show and see, and just meditate on the vibe. I love the book, by the way. Where did I put it? I love the book, by the way. These so you see when because I write myself. It's I won't say it's rare because a lot of people, lots of people out there have skill. But I'll say when I read this and the more I kept reading, I was like, "Yo, this is good. This is really really good. I really really like this." So yeah, everybody, yeah, go check this out. This is legit. This is some solid stuff. That's some solid stuff for reals. It's not the way I write, it's but I can definitely appreciate the way you write for real, for real. That's good stuff. That's good stuff, Mahari. That is good stuff
I'll
right there.
give thanks. I'm really happy you appreciate love, the book, and the energy behind it. It 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 really was just a. I know it has a very eclectic taste, right?
Mhm,
The way I write and even the way I speak too, right? And so, um, but the intention behind it, the message is there,
mhm.
and
Okay.
those who will, receive it will receive it,
Mhm,
and that's it. Like that's really all it is. Again, just sparking light in one person's heart. That's all I want to do. It was never about, yeah, I would like to be on New York's best-selling list because, Empress Maharaj. But it was never about like any of that energy, really and truly. It really was about putting the message out there as it comes
I'm
to I.
answering somebody's question. It's called Soul Expressions. I'll put the link. We put the link in the comments as well, so that you don't miss
Yeah.
it, my dear. We put the link in the comment. Don't worry about it.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been a great honor. I didn't know what to like really expect, but it was great. This was really a vibe. Like I really, really had fun.
I know, right?
Next time, next time I'll make sure you do some yoga so everyone can get to laugh at
Yes,
you.
yes. So I want to some yoga. I'm aspiring to do some yoga, mind you. I don't think my body is capable of doing the things I see you
Of
do,
course,
but I try.
practice,
I'm a good sport.
practice.
I played sports in school. I'm a good. I'll try.
Yeah. And
Okay, my
just
dear.
thanks to the viewers out there who tuned in tonight.
Mhm.
And a lot of you like that came on to say hi, oneness and love, and stay blessed. Until next time.
All right, Marsha. Take care, my dear. Little more.
Bye.
All right, peoples, that is the ball game. That is the ball game. I had fun. That was very insightful, very down to earth, very inspirational, very Rastafari. I like them kind of something there. But I like them kind of something there. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. I hope my YouTube live went according to plan. I'm going to check it out later. If you were tuning in via YouTube, welcome. Again, thank you for tuning into the Evening People show. My guest tonight was the one and only Maharri, with a levity and a vibes and a liveliness we really appreciate. And level up on yourself, man. Go out there and take some time and level on yourself, settle on yourself, find on yourself. Like I said on a previous show, find that version of you that wanted to be something great back in the day and still aspire to be great. Find that version of yourself that wanted to go there and change something and be something. You know, find that talent that you park long time because of whatever, and reclaim it and rekindle it. And that might be the thing that makes you truly and wholly great. If this is your first time joining the show, check it out. My book info is back there. It's called Love, Life, Confrontation, Expressions, Selections from the Chronicles of a Black Man, also a book of poetry. Check it out. Check out Maharri's book of poetry. But like I said, when it's time to go, me not dilly dally, I just little more.